Alrighty, so this is the start of my garden 2021. Let me tell you, it has been a year of gardening already, and not in a great way. I mean, it's already been a kind of a little saga. So after removing all the weeds, which were considerable with manual labor with rakes and hoes, which wasn't that bad, believe it or not, and it went fairly quickly. I thought, oh, for sure, we're all going to be so sore the next day. No, not at all. No soreness. Went really quick. So there were considerable weeds, but we got them out pretty quickly. We planted all the seedlings that I had grown inside in the spring, early spring. And my friend had been so kind to actually take over their care when I realized I didn't have enough sunlight in my house. So we planted those seedlings. The next day I went out, watered them because you have to kind of baby them when they're that little. And they were okay. They were doing okay. I was fine with them. The second day I went out and they were gone. Just gone. Nowhere to be found. I mean, I think probably what happened is bunnies overrun this neighborhood, and also the birds are always in my garden. They love to go in there and peck at things and get seeds. And then also there's a feral kitty that comes to my house every spring and drops off her babies in my backyard. And usually she only brings like 3 or 4. This year she bought 7 baby kittens, and I did notice that they were out rolling and wrestling and romping in the garden before I could shoo them away. So they probably took out some, yeah. But at any rate, 80% of my seedlings gone. So this is a video documenting before and after the destruction of the garden. So just stay tuned to see what I had to do to basically start over. Okay, so here's what I had in Garden 1.0. I had 8 tomato plants, potatoes, I had 5 different types of peppers, and pretty much the only thing that survived was my poblano peppers. The next picture will show actually my garden reset 2.0. So, yay! Garden 2.0 reset. Here's what I have in the reset garden. 10 tomato plants, 2 red pepper plants, 4 green peppers, 6 surprise peppers, which I explain later, 1 eggplant, and a row of potatoes. So, I probably have more. Yeah, I know I have more. I have like 8 more plants than what I originally had, but, you know, it got destroyed, so why not? I had a whole row of poblano peppers survive to this point. I mean, there's 5 in total, so fingers crossed that they make it. They're really little, as you can see, but like I said, fingers crossed that they make it to the finish line because I love poblano peppers. Of all the tomato seedlings I had, only 1 survived, and I don't even know what variety this is. Surprise tomato! This is a bush variety tomato called Champion. Yes, Champion. And it's a determinate tomato, so that means it doesn't get very tall. It'll only get like 4 feet tall. My grandpa used to grow bush varieties, so they're not my favorite, but I'm going to give it a shot this year. This is an indeterminate type of tomato called Rutgers, and what indeterminate means is just that it can get really tall. So you either have to stake it or they will vine if you have the right supports. I've tried Florida Weave before, and boy, that was not a success. But anyways, they are my favorite type of tomato to grow. But I found that once they get to 6 feet tall, they can become really unmanageable. In fact, last year I had a few that got over 6 feet tall, and it's like, oh God, they were just horrible to try and grow at that point. But anyways, they are my favorite. So of course they're going to go in the garden. This is just an overall picture of the whole garden. Okay, right in the center of the picture are my potatoes. Now, I've never grown potatoes before. Wait, I grew them 1 year. 1 year, and I didn't get anything out of them because obviously I don't know how to grow potatoes. So anyways, I'm going to try them again because why not? To the right are what I'm calling my surprise peppers, because when I went to Hy-Vee, Hy-Vee is a grocery store here that also has a nursery in the spring. The tags on these peppers were absolutely Greek, like a foreign language to me. I take that back. One of them I could read, but it said Dalapinos. Ever heard of a Dalapino? Not jalapeno, but Dalapino. So I got a worker to help me, and she explained that basically a local lady actually grows these for Hy-Vee. So she had absolutely no clue either what kind of peppers they were. So surprise peppers. I'm kind of excited because who knows, right? Maybe I'll get jalapeno. Maybe I'll get some other funky pepper. Who knows? Exciting. This part of my garden, I'm not planting anything because it's just a horrible part of my garden. It's like a quarter of the garden, maybe a little bit less than a quarter. There's one little pepper plant there, but that's it. That's all I'm going to put there because it hardly gets any sun. There's huge walnut trees to the right of that fence. And why I didn't see that last year or realize that last year when we tilled it up, I don't know. What a waste of space. But anyways, nothing's going here. Okay, so this is it. I'm done. I've planted everything that I want to plant, at least in the garden. I watered because they need it. And also I'm going to have to water over the next few days. We're supposed to have horribly hot weather, like over 90 degrees for many consecutive days in a row and with no rain. So at any rate, I'll be watering. I do want to plant some sunflowers around the edge of the garden, similar to what I did last year. I've got some Russian mammoths that are supposed to get like 16 feet tall. I've got some American varieties that get like 12 feet tall. And then some varieties that get, really small, 4 feet tall. But we'll see how they do. Last year, it was like the sunflower saga for me because they didn't do really well for me. I had a whole bunch come up from seed, but like some of them just didn't make it. I had three Russian mammoths that survived. They were tall. They were like 16 to 20 feet tall. And we had a huge storm come through. And not only were they tall, but like their circumference of the stalk was like, I'm not kidding you, 3 to 5 inches. They were huge. And well, we had a huge storm come through. Really bad. And the winds were horrible. And it took one of those down. I couldn't believe that it took a huge sunflower like that down, because they are sturdy once they come up that tall. But at any rate, hopefully I won't have a sunflower saga this year and they will do marvelous. My girl Coco, she doesn't like her picture taken, so she's pouting here. But the next picture, I got her to look at me.